on my system there are many things that are running in, right? So let me open task manager, and then let me get into details view. So are you seeing there are different processes that are running, and each of this process will have a unique ID, and every process will get some CPU and memory. Okay, so now over here each process gets some CPU and okay, right. So why does it require a CPU? CPU is where all the computation is happening. Okay, and when your application is running, if it needs to store some values, it will be storing in the RAM. Am I clear on this, sir? Yeah. But we all know that RAM is a volatile device. Once you shut down your system, RAM forgets everything. Okay. So that's the problem with RAM. RAM is volatile in nature. So to store it in the longer term, you need to store it on the disk. Okay. And to preserve any data, it uses, this is a basic approach. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah. So now process gets CPU, and what that CPU does is that CPU executes the code. That CPU executes the code. For example, I'm basically opening, forget about notepad, calculator. So when I open the calculator, what has happened? Some code has executed and I see this on my screen. And then whenever I'm trying to do some operations, it needs to execute. And whenever it needs to execute, it needs to basically have some amount of CPU doing the job for it. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah. So your code is executed by CPUs. And then it has to remember the 64. And CPU cannot remember anything. And whenever it has to remember any values, it will be using RAM. It will be using RAM. So now let me basically close and launch again. It will forget everything. Why? Because we have not stored anything. Everything was a RAM. We closed the program. RAM got cleared up. Are you clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay. Now, generally, applications are stored on a disk. Okay. So when we want to execute the application, so in the world of Mac or Windows, you might be double clicking. In the world of Linux, you might be executing the command. All of that is program execution. So for example, the same notepad I can launch from here also. Okay. So whether you double click it, whether you run the command for it, basically what operating system does is OS creates a process. Are you clear on this, sir? So for operating system, everything is process. Okay. So no matter whatever you're running, it is considered as process. Okay. And even though it is not related to what we are trying to do right now over here, but generally when we start laptop, it takes some time, right? It will not start immediately. So what is happening? Your whole operating system is present on the disk. Now that operating system needs to be loaded into RAM. Not all of operating system, but it needs to execute, and necessary things, necessary programs have to start. Then your laptop will work. So when you boot, what happens is this is happening. Transferring necessary or running some applications, utilizing some amount of memory to make your Windows or Mac or Linux work. And this process is something which we call as booting. All of us might know this, but I'm quickly reiterating. Okay, right? So now Linux startup process. My focus will definitely be on Linux because you and me will be basically dealing with Linux a lot. Okay. So if you try to basically look into it. Okay. ఇది ఇంకా బెటర్గా ఉన్నట్టుంది. Yeah, right. So whenever you power on, okay, so first thing is you will have your motherboard coming into play. It will try to detect your devices, and in this devices you will have an operating system which gets loaded, and then your processor will start executing some of the process. Okay, so they are present in different locations, fine, but at this point the user can log in. Once user logs in, then he runs whatever applications which he wants, but before the user runs, your system goes through all of this. మీరు వాడే ల్యాప్ మొబైల్ ఫోన్లో కూడా ఇదే జరుగుతుంది, because Android operating system is also Linux based. Okay, so even on your smartphone, this is exactly what is happening. Okay, right. So you need to understand all of this. What I'm trying to tell is, for operating system to work, it has to deal with CPU and memory all the time. Okay, right. So now let us try to speak about RAM. Okay, let us assume that this is okay, table accuracy in the yeah. Okay, all right. So if you consider a RAM where you have memory, okay, so this memory will have multiple locations. Okay, now when you want to use a space out of RAM, one thing which you need to tell is, okay, right, so now you want to store something in the RAM. Okay, so you cannot directly tell that I want to store. You need to basically specify what is the size which you require. RAM lo store cheyali baane undi kani enta size kavali ni. This is the first question which operating system asks. Okay, so let us assume that this is 1 unit. So totally we have only 9 units over here because we have taken a small table, but let us assume that this is what it is. Now we need to first specify the size. Am I clear on this, sir? So whenever you want to use a RAM, one thing which you need to specify is what is the size that is required. Okay, right. So now let us assume that I am trying to write my program, and my program does some calculations. Does it require to store some values? Obviously yes, because if you try to remember, yesterday to Flora we were trying to tell that remember print 10 as principal, or remember 10,000 as principal. Okay, right. So whenever we are asking it to remember, to the RAM we need to basically eventually try to tell what is the size that is required, yes or no. Yeah, so now let us assume that we are following this approach. 10,000. So to store this 10,000, how much of RAM do you think we need? What is the size that is required? And then I want to store a word called as Python. For this, how much size is required? Okay, I want to store something like true or false. How much size is required? I need to specify all of this. Okay, anyone who has attended or who has done 8086 processor lab in your graduation? Yes. So in that, if you remember, whenever you are registering the variables, you also need to specify the size. Okay, right. So for all the people who have done graduation, మీరు ఇప్పుడు నా దగ్గర ఏం మాట్లాడకపోవచ్చు కానీ ఖచ్చితంగా ఈ ల్యాబ్ జరిగి ఉంటుంది మీకు. సో 8086 మైక్రోప్రాసెసర్. Okay, right. So in your organization, in your engineering, you will have one lab exam on this, or you will be interacting with this. And here we will be dealing with something called as assembly level code, where we will be trying to write very low level instructions, add, op code, chala chirag untadi, right? But the point is, when you want to make an application, ideally we should be writing code like that. Do you think that is easy? Okay, no. So That is the reason why what programming languages do is they define something called as data types. Okay. What is the purpose of the data types? The purpose of data types is to specify the size of data to be allocated in memory. That's the whole point. Okay. And also make it easy for developers. This is the basic idea. So direct గా అసెంబ్లీ లెవెల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో రాయటం కష్టం, అలాగని చెప్పకపోవటం కూడా కుదరదు. So you cannot basically take a route where you don't specify all of this. For that, what we have is we have something called as data types. So generally, I'm quite sure that some of you might have learned this, but overall, we have two types of data. Okay. So one is which is fixed length, the other one which is called as variable. Yeah. So fixed length data is easier to worry about. Okay. Variable length data is a little bit more complicated. So you have to be a little bit careful. Okay. This is what basically it tries to tell. So, and here to make it easier for developers, there will be basic data types around the type of data. Okay. When I say type of data, is your data numeric? If it is numeric, are you speaking about integers or are you speaking about decimal numbers? Does your numbers have dots in it? So 45.60. Do you want to store something like that, or do you want to directly store something like 45? Okay. So do you have exponential numbers? Do you have logarithmic numbers? You can go to any extent. But the whole point, why do we need data type is because it should be easy for you as well as your programming language to decide the size. Okay. And then whenever we are trying to speak about booleans, okay, you'll have true or false or whatever it is. Okay. And then you might have text, or text data is characterized into something like character, and we might have something like string. And in addition to this, what languages do is, okay, this is all fine. Okay, in numeric they might give you many other types, but they will also try to help you in creating custom data types. Okay, fine. You are not trying to store one value, you are trying to store multiple values. Let us assume that I want to store my bank account. So in bank account, it will not have just account number, it will have account number, balance, address. Okay. So how do you combine this and come up with your own stuff? So this here you might have learned something like structures. And if you take it to the next level, this is where we will try to define classes. Okay. But classes make it convenient also, but I'm removing classes from here right now because classes have other purposes. This is the whole discussion. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah. So now, do you think data types are important? Yeah. Why? Because it is making us convenient to tell what is the data which you are operating on, and it is making it easier for your language to allocate memory. Clear? Yes. Okay. Right. So now whenever you try to see something like int a equals to 10, do we understand what this is now? See, trying to tell that I want, or forget about e equals to 10, int a anna. Okay. So I am indirectly trying to tell to my program saying that I am going to store a number. Okay. For that allocate memory, I will be giving the value of that. So when I say int a equals to 10, this means that create a memory for integer. Okay. And according to your language, integer will have some predefined size, and that much of memory will be allocated to you. Okay. Right. And in the same way, you might basically try to do this activity, something like float b equals to 10.56. I am trying to use non-Python syntaxes over here because this is something which you might have seen. C language is there from schools now. Okay, so I'm trying to write kind of C syntax. Okay, but here what is the intention? Depending on the type of the data, you are trying to use something which are called as data types. Am I clear on this, sir? Yeah. Okay. Now here, let me try to go to one extent. So, programming languages, okay, have or are further categorized into two types based on how they approach data types. The first one is called as static typed languages. What is it? Okay. And then dynamic typed languages. Okay. ఈ పదాలు ఏంటి కర్మెంట్ అనిపిస్తుందా? Right. And there is nothing. It is very simple. In static type languages, what we need to do is we need to specify. Okay. We means whoever is writing code. We in this case is you as a developer need to specify type of data. Okay. So now this is where your C language comes into play. This is where your C++ comes into play. This is where your Java comes into play. This is where your C# comes into play. Okay. See, in all of these languages, before you want to use a memory, you have to tell the type of. Okay. So over here, okay. So you might be doing something like, okay. That is where you will be trying to tell. For example, we need to store. So for example, balance. Okay. Amount in memory. So probably in these languages, you might be trying to write something like float balance is equals to, okay. This is what you might be doing. So in dynamically typed languages, during the code execution, a language will allocate the type depending on the values passed. Okay. So for example, I'm ఎంతమంది టైప్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అన్నమాట ఎవరన్నా ఉన్నారా? Yeah. Okay. Right. So now the languages that come over here are JavaScript, Python, and you can go with shell scripting, bash or shell. So whenever here where you are working over here, depending on the whatever values which you are passing, it will automatically allocate types. So JavaScript, because whenever your language is assigning types, you have to be careful with that. So to make this JavaScript type safe, they have created a language which is called as TypeScript. So TypeScript is also a JavaScript. It actually generates a JavaScript, but that is statically typed. You have to be type safe. Okay. Now, in this cases, what we'll try to do is we'll not do all of that. To do the same stuff. Okay. In dynamically typed languages, I would not be worrying about all of this. I'll be trying to write balance is equals to 1000.59. Now your programming language will read that, okay, you are passing something which has fractions in it, and then it will try to create a which type you need to be specified. So you need to voluntarily, అంటే మనం టైపులు చెప్పాలా అదే తెలుసుకుంటుందా. That's the whole point. Am I clear on this, sir? Yes. So when we learn Python, Python is a dynamically typed language. So you'd be using that syntaxes. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you can't work on statically typed language. There you have to be specific about it. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah. So do we understand this? Yeah. So statically typed languages and dynamically typed languages. So in Node.js you will be doing, or in JavaScript you will be doing the same thing, but you will be trying to write something like var. Okay. దేనికన్నా వారే అంటాం. So var balance is equals to something. Okay. Let it be a complex value or a simple value. You will not specify types in these languages. In some languages you are supposed to specify. So the languages which you are concerning you and me, generally we prefer basically going with dynamically typed. Clear? Yes. Okay, good. Right. Evolving programming language is conceptual. Okay, so do we understand operating systems, how operating systems work now? So whenever you are starting your system, then programs are getting executed. Okay, so every program runs as a process. Every process will have some CPU and RAM assigned to it. Okay, right. ఈ ప్రాసెస్ కదనే ఇంకో నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్కి తీసుకెళ్తే సర్వీస్ అంటే ఏంటి, రిమోటింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి వస్తుంది. సో ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ దిస్ ప్రాసెస్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్, we will be basically understanding the next advanced stuff. Okay, so for example, processes memory is private to itself. So for example, let me open this task manager. Chrome in unnai kada, the memory that is allocated to this chrome.exe cannot be accessed by this chrome.exe. Okay, so what is the problem with that and what is an advantage with that? That discussion will try to take it into the next passage. But how many of your computer graduates, computers, electronics, or any all the BTech students? Yeah. So anyone who had Java in their graduation? Yeah. BTech లో తీస్తారు జావా? ఎంతమంది చేతులు ఎత్తారు తర్వాత జావా అనగానే ఎవడు మాట్లాడలేదు? Okay, I'm not asking you to write any Java code, sir, but have you heard this term called as remoting somewhere in your discussions? ఇలా remoting అని, RPC అని ఇలాంటి పేర్లన్నా గుర్తున్నాయి, అట్లీస్ట్ ఇదేదో మనం అప్పుడు చూసినట్టు గుర్తొస్తుందని. యా, రైట్. సో అసలు అవి ఎందుకు ఉన్నాయి? సో వై డు వి నీడ్ దెమ్, వై డు దే ఎగ్జిస్ట్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ విచ్ విల్ ట్రై టు డిస్కస్ ఇన్ అవర్ నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్. ఓకే, రైట్. సో ఎనీ డౌట్స్ ఇన్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఐ హావ్ డిస్కస్ సో ఫార్? ఓకే సార్, good. Now let us go back and start discussing about Flora. Let us try solving some problems. Okay, yeah, Anagi location, yes. Okay, so let us solve. Again, what is this? This is, yeah, selfie, right. Now let me try to speak about the first problem. The reason why I take mathematical problems is because that is the common understanding which all of us have. నాకు బేసిక్ గా మీ అందరి మీద ఉన్న అండర్స్టాండింగ్ అంటే కూడికలు తీసివేతలు క్లాస్ లో అందరికి వచ్చన్నది నా నమ్మకం, అందుకనే ఇది తీసుకుంటున్నాను. ఓకే, సమ్ పీపుల్ లెర్న్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ బై రైటింగ్ games, so they create snake games and all that stuff. Okay, so if you belong to that category, what you can do is, or if you have some kids in your home, okay, నేను ఇన్ని చెప్తున్నాను, మా పిల్లలు అంటలేదు అన్నమాట. Okay, right. So just go to code.org, try to go to learn. Okay, and are you seeing anyone can learn computer science over here? This is basically something which has been funded by companies like Facebook, Microsoft, and in US, in majority of the schools they use this program. మనకి ఇక్కడ వైట్ హెడ్ జూనియర్, బ్లాక్ హెడ్ జూనియర్ ఇలాంటి పేర్లు పెట్టి ఫీజులు తీసుకోవటం, ఏమి చెప్పకపోవటం ఏం అవసరం, వాళ్ళందరూ చెప్పేది ఇదే, right, which is absolutely freely available. So over here, if you try to log in, you will be learning programming by playing games. So by playing these games, they will try to show you how to write conditional statements, how to write that stuff. But మనం ఆ వయసు దాటేసాం కదా, ఆడుకునే వయసు, మనకు అవకాశం లేదు. ఓకే, మీకు మీ బాల్య గుర్తులు కావాలంటే నేను లేనప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ చేసుకో, ప్రస్తుతానికి మనకు అవకాశం లేదు. Since we don't belong to this age categories, I'm not getting into that, but yeah, this can be learned by anyone and there is nothing to just basically explore that stuff. Okay, So if you try to look into this, you will have some of the animations, and they ask you to make some keyboard stuffs and all that stuff. From that, you try to understand what instructions are. Okay, if you want, you can give it a try. Okay. So since we can't do that, I'm taking some simple math to basically solve this stuff. Okay, right, sir. Good. So again, to reiterate, Flora expects a sequence of instructions. Sequence of instructions, and it executes them line by line. And I'll be trying to copy some content about what Flora knows. Okay, till we I'll be copying this whole section. Okay, right. This is repeated from yesterday's class, but just to have a sequence of the things. Okay, right. Now today what we'll be trying to do different is, while writing instructions, let's have line numbers added. ఓకే, నిన్నటికి వాళ్ళకి తేడా ఏంటంటే నేను ఏ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ రాసినా లైన్ నెంబర్ రాస్తాను. ఆర్ వి క్లియర్ ఆన్ దిస్, సార్? ఎస్. ఓకే. అండ్ టుడే ఓకే, Flora. Okay, let me not do that. Let me just take a simple example. Okay, we have to solve that license plate problem, but I'll be coming to the license plate problem after this. So the first problem which I want to solve for today is, okay, what problem should we solve? In solve చేద్దాం. Do you have any problems? Pardon me? Calculator. We'll take one problem. We'll not make an application. Calculator is an application for me. We'll try to solve one problem. A plus B whole square. Yeah, we can do that. But let us try to make it a little bit more realistic. So let us try to calculate one thing. Something like area of a rectangle or square of a rectangle, so that it looks like we are doing some stuff. Okay, right. So area of a rectangle. Okay, so what is the formula for area of rectangle, sir? Length into breadth. Yeah, right. So now let us try to look at instructions. So I said that we will be writing line numbers now. So hello Flora, remember, okay, something like 10 as length. Remember 40 as, yeah. Now, right, calculate, or yesterday I've said that you can basically do length into breadth. Okay, and remember as result. Yeah, display result. Convenient? Yes, we'll start simple. because I want all of you to be in a position to write it. Okay, so ఇది నేను చేశాను కదా. Yeah, right. So immediately I want you guys to solve this now. Yeah, so perimeter of rectangle, చుట్టుకొలత. Okay, so what is the formula for this? మీకేం రావాల్సిన అవసరం లా. నాకు ఫార్ములాలు రావండి, నేను అప్పుడు నేర్చుకోలేదు అంటే ఏమీ నేర్చుకోవాల్సిన పని లేదు. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ఇట్? ఏరియా ఆఫ్ rectangle. Yes, and now perimeter of rectangle. Yeah, yes. సో ఐ డోంట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ఎనీ వన్ టు, మీకు ఈ మ్యాథమెటికల్ ఫార్ములా అప్పట్లో రాలేదండి, నేను అప్పట్లో చదువుకునేవాడిని కాదు, ఇవన్నీ నాకు అనవసరం. ఎవ్రీ వన్ నోస్ పర్ప్లెక్సిటీ ఏ. ఓపెన్ దట్ పేజ్ అండ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ ఇట్, ట్రై టు లుక్ ఎట్ అ ఫార్ములా. అండ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఫార్ములా నౌ? 2 into length plus width. Wonderful. Now I want these instructions from you. Go ahead. మీరు చేయగలరా, రాయగలరా, నన్ను రాయమంటారా? Go ahead, do this, sir. So I have given other problem also. Area of a circle. Mali, go to perplexity AI, try to find out what the formula is, and please write these instructions. I want instructions in this format. First, గౌరవం ముఖ్యం. హలో ఫ్లోరాతోనే మొదలవ్వాలి. Right, and I want line numbers. Yeah, try to write it in pen and paper and then have it, because this activity is extremely important, sir. Yeah, if it is fun, wonderful, because actually programming is fun. Yeah, so I'm giving you 5 minutes of time. Go ahead and do this. Okay, sir. So perimeter of rectangle. Instructions. So first, so remember ఇవన్నీ ఎవరు చేస్తారు? ఈ రెండు కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేస్తారు. Right. Now, what is the formula? Yeah. So calculate. Okay. Length plus breadth. Even if you have written 2 into length plus breadth, I'm okay with it. But one thing which you need to understand is this expression is absolutely fine. But the point is, I have not spoken that Flora doesn't know anything about parentheses as of now. Okay. So, and store in result. So then fifth is calculate result into 2 and store in result. Sixth is display result. And if you want, you can try to write the same statement by trying to use something like, okay, result is equals to length plus, I'm okay with that. Okay. Here, if you try to write result is equals to result into 2, because Flora will always calculate whatever is on the right hand first and assign it to the left hand. Okay. So any of the things which you have done over there, I'm absolutely fine with that. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah. But initially, try to write it in plain statement so that anyone can read and understand. Okay. Then area of a circle. So instructions. Okay. Right. So first one. Hello, Flora. And then here, if you want, you can try to tell that remember 3.14 as, or you can calculate 22 what dot 22 by 7 or 22 divided by 7. But unfortunately, Flora doesn't know 3 point decimal divisions as of now. So what it will do is 22 by 7, it will give 3 only. Because if you try to remember, I said that it knows only integer divisions. That's the reason I'm using 3.14. And then calculate, or here let me try to write result is equals to, let us move to this, pi into, oh, remember something like 10 as radius. And fourth, I'll be trying to write result is equals to pi into, sorry, pi into radius into radius. You know what pi r square is, but she doesn't know. She knows only basic stuff. So that's the reason I'm trying to write in this expression. ఇందులో ఏమైనా కష్టం ఉందా? Why? Because she doesn't know squares. She doesn't know integer division. So we have to express our stuff in whatever she understands. And then finally, display result or say result, shout result, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah. Is everyone comfortable doing this? Yes. This is the first step into programming. If you are clear with that, then we can take our next step ahead. ఈ స్టెప్ వరకు అందరూ క్లియరా? ఇంకోటి చేద్దామా? Are we clear with this, or do you want me to do one more? Clear? Okay, good. Fine then. Now what I want to do is, I want to basically make Flora. Okay. Okay. Find if the number is even or odd. Simple, right? So how do I tell if the number is even or odd? Yeah, 4 is a even number, 5 is odd number. For you, you are intelligent, you are trying to tell that, but you need to tell this problem into something which Flora can calculate. Okay, so now if it is Flora, so what she knows as of now, she knows additions, subtractions. Addition cannot tell whether the number is even or odd. Subtractions cannot, multiplications cannot, division also cannot. Okay, right? Why division cannot? Let me try doing this. So let us assume that I have 4. Okay, you are trying to tell the divided by 2. When I divide it by 2, this is what the result of division is. 2 2s are 4 and I get 0. I cannot use that, but I can use, yeah. So because if it is 41, then 2 20s are 40 and I'm left with 1. This 0 or 1 will try to tell me if it is even or odd. Do you agree with me on this? Yes. So now instructions. Don't be in a rush to write programming language. If number percentage 2 is equal to 0 అని రాసేస్తున్నారు ఇప్పుడే. దానికి టైం ఉంది మనకి. Okay, let us try to understand this well because this is what we missed. Yeah, right. So right, and then remember, okay, let me call it as 10 as number, and then what I'm trying to tell is, okay, remainder is equals to number percentage. Okay, so if I'm given 10 as an input in the third line, when this calculation is done, in the remainder I will have a value of 0. If I try to give 11 as an input, then it will have 1. Okay, right, sir. Present 10 right. So then in the line 4, what are I tell us? Okay, here I need to make decisions. So right now I'll have 2 possibilities. One is say even and say odd. Yes or no? So I have not written the line numbers, but if you take any value, it will be one of these two. It will be one of these two. But for this, okay, if I try to just display this program by trying to tell that line number is 4 and line number is 5. So then what would happen? It will try to print both odd and even. Is that what we want? No. So what will I tell us? Okay, if remainder is equals to 0, say even. If remainder is equals to 1, say odd. So why I had to do that? Because this line number 4 should not be executed all the time. It should be executed based on a condition. Okay, so line number 5 should not be executed all the time, but whereas line number 1, line number 2 and line number 3 should be executed all the time. Okay, so these kind of things are something which we call as conditional statements. Okay, and over here we will come across something like if else. Okay, if else if switch or case. So this is something like tip for basic programming, but the idea over here is there are some statements or some lines in my instructions which should not be executed all the time. For that I will be basically checking a condition. That's the reason why we call it as conditional statements. Are we clear on this, sir? Yeah, does it make sense? Yeah. Okay. Now let us take it a little bit forward. Okay. Right. So now find the student's grade. Okay. So student grade. Table ఏదో எடுத்து దాగండి. 55 కి తక్కువ వస్తే వెరీ పూరా. Okay, fine. For me, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Let us assume that this is a classification, which is, or this is something which we want to basically. So, okay. All right. Okay, sir. So, right. Now over here, let us try to write a solution for this. Okay. So what we will try to do is, let's give Flora the average or percentage. Okay. Right. Let's give Flora average or percentage and make her say the grade. So what are the grades which are available? Excellent, good, fair, poor, very poor. నాకు తెలిసి పదాలు లేక ఆపేసినట్టున్నారండి దీని తర్వాత. Right? Worst, hopeless. Right? This didn't wanted to write that. So probably that's the reason they have stopped there. Okay, fine, whatever it is. For us, it doesn't matter. This is the problem which you are trying to solve. Instructions. Okay. The first line is simple. Okay. Mono. Right. And then second, remember 99 as average. So what are the options which we have? Okay, first let me try to say grade the first. Say excellent and say good, say fair, and what else? What is left? Poor. Say very poor. All right. Yeah. So does it need to print all the 5, one or one of these 5? One of these 5. Okay. Right. So what is that I need to do now? So if average, okay, is greater than 90, and let me add some intelligence to Flora now. Flora learned how to combine statements using and or. ఇప్పుడు ఫ్లోరాకి కొత్తగా 2 తెలివితేటలు వచ్చినాయి. He understands what a and is and what a or is. Okay. So I'm quite sure we have gone through the truth tables P and Q. When P is true and Q is true, it becomes true. In all the other combinations, it is false. So RQ is if P is Q or P is true or Q is true, any one of them is true at least, then the result will be true. Okay. So here, if the average is greater than or equals to 90, okay, and average is less than or equals to 100, then Say excellent. So here what I'll be trying to do is I'll be trying to write something like 3 and 1 dot here. So that means 3.1. 3.1 annadam. Is that okay? Yes. Okay. Now I am writing fourth stuff. So what is the fourth stuff? If average is greater than or equals to 80 and average is less than or equals to 89 అనొచ్చు లేదంటే less than 90 అనొచ్చు. Because average can be in decimal formats also, right? It can be 89.5. Yeah, right. Now in this case, I am trying to tell, say, am I clear on this, sir? Yes. Then, if average is greater than or equals to 65 and less than or equals to less than 80, then we call it as fair. And 6. So this, let me try to write 5.1. ఈ నంబరింగ్ సిస్టమ్ కొంచెం చిరాగ్గా ఉన్నా తప్పదండి. That is important. So putting that bullet points numbering. Okay. So if 55 and 65, so 55 and 65. So this is, say, ఇంక ఏదన్నా మిగతా అన్ని సే పూర్ అనుకుంటా, రైట్? సో బట్ ఇఫ్ average is less than or equals to 55, okay, 7.1, say. So is this instruction okay? Yes. Okay. So will it work? పని చేస్తుందా? Yeah. Okay. So let us assume that I have given, remember, 99 as an average. Let me try to give 75. So this time I give 75 as a value. So then what would happen? First this line gets executed. Then line 2. Then it will check this condition. It doesn't belong here. So it will go to here. It doesn't belong here. Then it will go here. Okay, it belongs here. Then it will try to tell here. But then after that it will go here. It will go over here and the program will end. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now let me try to give, remember, 7 as an average. So then what would happen? It will try to check this. Okay, first 2 lines obviously. And then after that, third line, no 3.1, fourth line, and then fifth line, and then sixth line, and then 7, and then 7.1. So what I'll try to do is, I'll try to print the values. Okay. Let's print line numbers executed, okay, according to different values of what you call average. Okay, the first value which I want to give is, I've given 100 as a value. So then what would happen? What should happen? What are the lines that will be executed? First it will execute 1, and after 1 it will go to 2 obviously, and after 2 it goes to 3, and after 3 it goes to 3.1, and after 3.1 it goes to 4, then it goes to 5, then it goes to 6, and then it goes to 7, and then the final output will be Excellent. Do you agree with me on this, sir? I'm basically trying to check what would happen if I pass different values. So if I pass 100 in this position, okay, so then first line will be executed, second line we have passed 100, third line will be executed. Since third satisfies this condition, then it will execute 3 okay. Are we looking at this? Okay. దీనికి బాగా టెక్నికల్ పదం కాల్ స్టాక్. So when you basically get into programming language and understand what I have written over here, this is called as call stack. Call stack basically means that when your program executes, what were the paths it has traveled? What were the paths it has traveled? Okay. Now let me try to give 65. So if I give 65, what would happen? ఆగండి, ఇక్కడ ఏదో లెక్కలు ఏదో ఒక్కనొట్టదేంటి? 80 90 ఉంది, బానే ఉంది. 65 నుండి 70. Right. I thought it is 70. Yeah, fine. I've given 65. So when I give 65, what will be the call stack or execution path? First line, and then second line, and after that third line. 65 doesn't belong here, so then it comes to 4. Okay, so 4 also it will not validate, then it will go to 5. Yeah, 5 looks okay, so then it gets into 5.1. Okay, but after that it will not stop, it will basically go to 6, and then it will go to 7, and then what is the value which you will get? 5.1 లో ఏముంది? Pair. Okay, my problem over here is I don't like this program, because after it has decided the grade, why is it checking other lines? Excellent అని తెలిసాక మళ్ళీ కింద చెక్ చేయడం అవసరమా? Yeah, once it has decided that it is excellent, do I really need to continue the program? I should stop the program, right? Okay, so the instructions will above will make Flora work even after finding the grades. Do you agree with me on this, sir? So shall we optimize our program or optimize our instructions? So first ఏ మాత్రం సిగ్గు లేకుండా ఉన్నది ఉన్నట్టు కాపీ చేసేద్దాం, మళ్ళీ ఎన్ని రాయాలంటే కష్టం. Yeah, yes. Okay, and then I'll try to write line 8, which basically says exit. Okay, or which says bye. Okay, so over here I'll try to tell that 3.2 go to line 8. ఏమన్నా ఇబ్బంది ఉందండి? యా, రైట్. 4 go to 7.2కి రాకపోయినా పర్లేదు, ఎందుకంటే అది ఆఖరిది కాబట్టి. యా, మళ్ళీ ఇంకో లైన్ ఒక్క అవసరం లేదు. రైట్. So now if you try to see, did we do some optimization? Yes. Now let me try to take the same instructions. Okay, yeah, fine. If it is 100, we know that it will print excellent. I'm not changing that. So what would happen? First it would execute 1, after 1 it will execute 2. 1 2 are common. So what is the third line? I have given 100, so it belongs here. Then it will get into 3. 3 is a valid condition, so 3.1, and after that 3.2, then line number. It is not checking any other conditions. So over here 5.1, 5.2, and so what do you think is better, this or this? Okay. By the way, what I am trying to do right now is check my program by passing different values and trying to optimize it. Okay. This, if you do it in editor, we call this activity as debugging. Executing line by lines of your program by passing different values. Okay. Right. Fine. Looks good. Yeah. Okay. Now let us give 110. This is my input. Then what would happen? 110 చెప్తే ఏమంటుంది? It will go to 1, go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what do you think ideally should happen? Average 110 ఉండే అవకాశం ఉందా? So is there any possibility that an average has to be 110? Okay. So now generally whenever we are writing instructions, consider boundary conditions. That is allow, okay, only valid set of values. Okay. Now, okay, ఇన్ని మార్చాలంటే నెంబర్లో కొంచెం చిరాకు ఉంటుందిగా, సత్తం ఏంటి, రైట్. సో ఐడియల్లీ I will be trying to write only first top 3 instructions. After that you write. ఈ నెంబర్ నాకు వేసి ఓపిక లేదు ఇంకా, రైట్. సో what I'll try to is remember something as an average. Then I'll try to write line number 3. If average is greater than 100 or average is less than 0. Okay. So then I'll be trying to tell that okay, say give me right averages, and after that you continue this program. Does it make sense? Yeah. So never ever try to write a program like this straight away. You make mistakes, try to find what was the problem in your code, and then you improvise on top of it. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes. This is one of the important quality. I think it should be less than in line number 7. Oh yeah, you're right. It should be less than. Already here we have said equals to, right? Yeah. Fine. So are we clear on this, sir? Does it make sense? Yeah. So right now we don't want to make Flora basically do certain things in a repeated manner. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to check the conditions. Okay. So this is something which is called as boundary conditions, or specifically this is boundary condition validations. Okay. So for example, if I ask you to calculate averages of marks, okay, నేను 6 సబ్జెక్టులు మార్కులు ఎత్తాను, యావరేజ్ చేయమని అనుకోండి. Okay. In that input you should never allow anyone entering a value which is less than 0. నాకు మ్యాథ్స్ లో 100 వచ్చినాయి, సైన్స్ లో -100 వచ్చినాయి అని అనుకోండి. ఓకే. ఫ్లోరా కన్నా తెలియదు ఎట్లా ఉండవు, రెండు కలిపి 0 ఉంటుంది యావరేజ్, రైట్. సో whenever you are taking inputs, have some validations in your programs. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay. Now let us go out for a break for 10 minutes, come back, and then let us try to solve that number plate problem. ఆ నెంబర్ ప్లేట్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఏమైనా సాల్వ్ చేయగలమేమో చూద్దాం. ఎస్. ఓకే. ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ఆర్ బోరింగ్, సార్? బోరింగ్ గా ఉన్నా తప్పదు మీకు, రైట్? ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ బోరింగ్, యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ ఆప్షన్. రైట్ సార్.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Okay, let us try to do substitution. So I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember 0 as result. So what is the value which we have in zero result now? 0. Then I have said digit is equals to number percentage 10. So then what is that I'll have in digit? 4. And number is equals to number by 10. So then number in number, what is it I have? 125. Result, what is the value which we have as of now? 0. Result plus digit. Digit is what is the value which we have? 4. Then it will come here. So what is the value which we have in number? 123. Is 123 greater than 0? Yes. Then we are trying to tell that go to the 4. So 123 percentage 10. Then what is the value which you would have? 123 percentage 10 and 3 కదా సార్ వచ్చేది. Yeah, 3. And then number is equals to 123 by 10. So number becomes 12. And then in the digit, in the result, we already have 4. Now it becomes 4 plus 3, which is 7. Then it will come over here. In number, I have 12. So since 12 is greater than 0, it will go over here again. Then digit is equals to number percentage 10. 12 percentage 10 is 2. So 7 plus 2, 9. And then number becomes 1. So is number greater than 0? Yeah, 1 is greater than 0. So it will go over here. Digit is equals to 1 percentage 10. So it becomes 1. 1 percentage 10 is 1, right? 10 divided 10 zeros. So finally we are getting 10 as an answer in this digit. Is number greater than 0? No, number has become 0 now. So then it will stop here. Now over here I have to check one more condition. If result is, what is result now? 10. Malli 10 ki process cheyali kada nenu. So even if it is greater than 10, I have to do this process. If result is greater than 9, then 8.1. So this is 7.1. So I will try to tell that number is equals to result and 8.2. Result is equals to 0. 8.3. Go to 4. Okay. And then finally say result. Konjam confusing unda? Yeah, right. Let us try to take a simple problem for this. Let me not take 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me try to take 82. Okay. So again 82. Okay. What will Flora do? Flora will execute the values 1 by 1. I am writing the problem over here. First line, Flora has executed. Hello. It says hi. And then what is the value which we have in number as of now? Number is equals to 82. Okay. So then in the result, what is the value which we will have as of now? Result is equals to 0. Then what is the value which we will have in digit right now? 82 percentage 10. What is the value which we will get? 2. Okay. Then we have said number is equals to number by 10. So 82 by 10 will give me what? 8. Okay. So result is equals to result plus digit or digit plus result. So 2 plus 0, result becomes, okay, then it will come. Is number greater than 0 now? Yes, because number is 8. Then what is that we have said? Go to line number 4. We have gone to 4. Now digit is equals to number, that is 8 by 10. So digit becomes, result becomes 2 plus, okay. So now the digit becomes 8 and number becomes, do you agree with me on this, sir? So now I come to the line number 6. In line number 6, result is equals to digit plus result. What is the digit which we will have? 8 plus result, there is 2. So what is the value which it has become? 10. And digit has become, digit in Mardaga. Okay. So digit has become, digit is 2 itself. Now is number greater than 0? No, it is 0. Okay, but is our problem solved? No, 10. It has to be a single digit number. So then it comes here. If result is greater than 9, is result greater than 9? Yes. Then what is that I'm trying to tell? Number is equals to result. So in the number I have passed 10. And in the result I have made it 0. Then I said go to line number 4. So in line number 4, what is that? Digit is equals to number percentage. So 10, if I basically divided with 10, what is the value which you will get in the digit? You will get 0. And in number will become 1. Okay. Result is still 0. Now during the next iteration, okay, so now it is calculating 1 percentage 10. So digit will become 1. Result will become 1. And the number will become 0. So is number greater than 0? No. Is result greater than 9? No. So what is the result which we have? 1. Okay. Now let me try to solve the same problem by trying to take the next value. This is the substitution which I have said. Whenever you write anything, always try to apply the values. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేద్దామంటే let us try to take a number which is 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, right. Let us try to apply the values. First line executed. Okay, second line executed. Now we have number and the value of number is 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now I am executing line number 3. So once I finish executing line number 3, I have something called as result which has 0 in it. Then line number 4, I have to calculate digit 3, 4, 5, 6. When I divide it by 10, what will be the remainder? 6. Last digit is what will come out. ఓకే 3456ని 10తో భాగిస్తే 345 quotient 6 remainder. So when we divide 3, 4, 5, 6 with 10, 345 is a quotient and 6 is the remainder. దీంట్లో ఏమన్నా భూతం ఏమన్నా సాల్వ్ చేస్తున్నా నేను? అంత బాధగా చూస్తారు ఏంటిది? రైట్. సో సార్ నేనేమో అద్భుతాలు ఏం చేస్తలేదండి. 3456 3, 4, 5, 6 when I divide it by 10. So will I not get 345 here? Okay, and finally after that will I not get a remainder of 6? నేను ఇదేగా అక్కడ రాసింది. Yeah, so now I get this, and after that what is present? Number is equals to number by 10. So then it becomes 345. Now result is equals to result digit plus result. So 0 plus 6. So it becomes 6. Is number greater than 0? Yeah, 345 is definitely greater than 0. So then what is written? Go to 4. So I go to 4 here. So what is the number as of now? 345. Number percentage 10 is equals to digit. So in the digit I'll have 5. Now let me come to line number 5. So line number 5 is equals to number by 10. 345 by 10 will give me 34. And then digit is equals to result is equals to digit plus result. So what is that we have in the digit right now? 5. 6 plus 5 will give me 11. So is number greater than 0? Yes. Then what is that we have said? Go to line number 4. Now I will go to line number 4. So now digit is equals to number percentage 10. So what is the value which we have in number? 34. 34 percentage 10 will give me 4 here. And what is line number 5? Number is equals to number by 10. So 34 will become 3. Now I am coming to line number 6. The result is equals to digit plus result. So what is the value which we already have in result? 11. So 11 plus 4 will give me 15. So did the number become 0? No. So I have to go to line number 4 again. So if I go to this, number is 3. 3 percentage 10 will give me 3. Now I am executing line number 5. So if you execute line number 5, so what is the value which you will get? Number by 10. That becomes 0. Result is equals to digit plus result. 15 plus 3 will give me how much? 18. So we still have value of digit over here. Now is number greater than 0? No, because number is already 0. It will come to line number 8. Now if you try to look at result, if I had to give 18 away, I would have stopped my program over here. But I cannot give 18. I have to give a single digit number. So what is that we have in result now? 18. So I'll try to tell that, okay, result is something which is greater than 9. So let me do one thing. Number is equals to result. That means whatever value is present in the result, copy that in number. Okay, 18. And whatever value that is in the result, reset it 0. And I'm not worried about digits. So go to line number 4. So I go to line number 4 over here. So if you try to look into this, digit is equals to number percentage 10. So 18 percentage 10 will give me how much? 8. So number is equals to number by 10. So 18 by 10 will give me 1. So result is equals to digit plus result, that is 0 plus 8. So it becomes 8. Now is number greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. So I need to go to line number 4 again. Digit is equals to number percentage 10. 1 percentage 10 will give me 1. Number by 10 will give me 0. And then result is equals to digit plus result. So 8 plus 1 will give me 9. It comes over here. Is number greater than 0? No. Is result greater than 9? No, it is not. It is 9. So that's the reason I'm printing 9. Okay. Now are we clear? And in this you might make mistakes. That's okay. But only this process can help you fixing it. Only this process can help you fixing this. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay. So let me basically try doing this. C drive, C temp, what was it? Another folder create chesam indulo. CD programs, and let me open it. So now if I have to convert this into any of the programming languages, so what is the value which we have said? Okay. నేను ఇదే రాస్తాను హలో అన్నది పైథాన్ లేదు కాబట్టి నంబర్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 3 4 5 6 and after that result is equals to 0 and there is no need for you to write program. I'm just showing you how to convert this. Okay, so while number is greater than 0 నేనేం రాయలా మొత్తం ఏ రాసింది. Okay, or let me do one thing, let me not do that, let me disable the suggestions. Yeah. Okay, fine then. While number is greater than 0. Okay, right. So what is it I'm supposed to do? Digit is equals to number percentage 10. Okay, right, fine then. And after that number is equals to number. I have to use double slash in Python to basically do integer division. Integer division in Python is equivalent to double slash. Okay, right. And result is equals to result plus digit. Okay, fine sir, fine then. And finally, if number is equals to 0 and result is greater than 9, so then in the number pass result, in the result make 0 and then print result. ఈ కోడ్ మీకు అర్థమవకపోయినా పర్లేదు, నేను రాసిన దాన్నే కన్వర్ట్ చేశాను దీంట్లో. సో ఇట్ హాస్ టేకెన్ ద పైథాన్ షేప్. ఓకే, నౌ పైథాన్ మెయిన్ డాట్ py 9 రాలా? ఆర్ యు నాట్ సీయింగ్ 9? ఓకే, పోనీ దీన్ని అందంగా రాద్దాం. సమ్ ఆఫ్ digits of number is result. Are we getting 9? Okay. Pone 3. This will also give me 9. But let us see if our program works or not. Yeah. So this will give me 8. మనకు తెలుసు 3 9 వీకెత్తే అదే డౌట్లో. So is my program working? So what is it I have converted? I have converted whatever I have written manually into some stuff. Now I can basically do the same thing for what do you call public main ante edutadu Java. Public class hello public static void main okay, right. So first int number is equals to all 9s. Okay, right. And after that, what was our algorithm? That all you have to do is just look at this. Okay, so since it is a statically typed language, you have to give the data types first. So int result is equals to 0, and while number is greater than 0, right? So inside this int digit is equals to number percentage 10. Okay, now number is equals to number by 10, and after that okay, result is equals to result plus number, and okay, if result is equals to sorry if number is equals to 0 and result is greater than 9, in that case I am trying to tell that number is equals to result and result is equals to 0. Ante kada? Yeah. And finally system dot out dot println. Okay, so number. Okay, digit మనం వాడలేదా? result is equals to result plus digit కదా ఇది. Yeah, so now let me try to run this Java program. Java C hello dot Java hello ఎక్కడో పోయింది ఇది. Why am I printing number? I am supposed to print the result. Yeah, now you tell me the language I can try to write in. Okay, so it is actually not the language that matters, it is the steps that you have figured out that matters. So I can try to write this in C# bash language or whatever it is. So for that what we need to figure out is these things. So మనం చేసే పనికి ఏమైనా విలువ ఉందంటారా? Okay, so if you are good at this, working out a programming language is all about exploring syntaxes. Okay, so in Java there is some structure to this. Okay, in C# there might be some different structure to it. In JavaScript there might be a different structure to it. Python there might be a different structure to it. So all we need to do is once we know what has to be done, then we have to adopt that structures. Okay, now here if you try to look into this essence, there were certain number of lines which we want to repeat multiple times. Okay, ఇక్కడ మీరు చూస్తే 4, 5, 6, 4, 5 and 6 lines we have repeated many times during the execution of the program. Yes or no? Yes. So when we are trying to do this, this is something which we call as looping constructs. Okay, what was the previous case in conditional statements? I didn't want to execute all the lines, so I have used conditional statement. Here there are some lines of code which I need to execute multiple times based on some condition. So for that, what I use is I use something called as looping constructs. Okay, so looping constructs help in executing, okay, block is nothing but sequence of lines. Sequence of lines multiple times according to conditions. Generally, in most languages, we have while and for to accommodate. Do while untai for each untundi. I'm not getting into that, but on a rough note, this is what you would have. Okay, so this goto is something which I have basically written for our understanding, but in reality we should avoid using goto because goto is a bad practice. Goto is supported, not supported in Python, but it is supported in C. Even I think in Java also it is supported, but goto is something which you should avoid. Okay, right? Are we clear on this, sir? So if you try to see now, do we understand why do we use something called as conditional statements and why do we use looping constructs? Okay, right? So if I try to print all the even numbers from 1 to 10, okay, so there what is that you are trying to do? You are trying to check if number is even or odd. For that you know how to do it, but that you need to repeat for numbers from 1 to 10. So then what is that I'll be trying to use? I'll be trying to use the looping construct. Okay, so continuously ask the user for inputs till he says I want to quit from this program. Again, you are executing the same lines of code multiple times till the user says that quit the program. Now in that cases again you have to basically go with looping constructs. Are we clear on this, sir? Okay, so do we understand what looping constructs are and what the conditional statements are? So shall we solve one problem now? Can is there name రాయని go to statement మీరు రాయబోతున్నారు, but I'll try to give a problem on a similar lines. Okay, right? So okay, solve the or find if the number is palindrome or not. So what is a palindrome, sir? Okay, now a number is called as considered palindrome if the reverse is equal to original number. So for example, if I give 121, even if you try to reverse the number, then you get 121. So this is palindrome. Now if I give 123, if you reverse the number, you get 321. Okay, so this is not a palindrome. Okay, so what is it you need to do? You need to reverse a number and find out if the reverse is equivalent to the original number. In that case, you call that as palindrome. Okay, మీరైతే చూసి చెప్తారు ఫ్లోరా కానీ తెలియదు అట్లేదు. So you can tell whether the number is reverse is equivalent or not by just looking at that number. But the point is not about you knowing, you getting this done by Flora. Give it a try. I will try to solve this problem. It is okay to fail, and this is going to take slightly interesting turn. Okay, but all you need to do is no program is correct in the first run. We try to substitute the values and then try to fix the stuff. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes? Okay. Go ahead. Will you try or shall I do it? మీరు చేస్తారు నన్ను చేయమంటారా? Okay. Right? Instructions. And 1 minute, sir. Just I have one point to try to tell. And after that, you can continue doing this. Okay. When I'm asking a question, I expect a response. Whatever is coming to your brain, you just tell me. Okay? Are we clear with this example? Yeah? నేను మిమ్మల్ని ప్రశ్న అడుగుతాను అందరూ. Okay? When I will be asking a question and I want response from all of you. Even the people who are online, I know I am on mute, but you can tell the answer straight away. నాకు వినబడకపోయినా మీరు చెప్పండి. Okay? So what is 2 plus 3, sir? నేను దీనికి ఇంత ఆలోచించాలా? This is exactly what I'm trying to tell. Okay, what is 3 into 3? What is 3 into 3? Not 3 plus 3. Okay. What is 5 into 5? What is 10 into 5? What is 100 into 99 divided by 22? Immediately your brain says stop, you will tell the answer. And this is not a problem with you, this is a problem with everyone. Okay, your brain always wants you in comfort zone. అందుకే మన Instagram rules చేత కూర్చుండిపోతున్నాం. Right? So for that reason, you have to basically beat that out, then only you will be able to learn the programming. నా క్లాస్ వింటే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ వస్తుంది అన్న మాట నేనంటే, నిజంగా నాకు అన్ని శక్తులు ఉంటే నేను ఈ పాటికి తాయిత్తులు కట్టుకుంటా సుఖంగా ఉండేవాడిని. ఓకే, మొన్న few days ago I was watching one news channel in the afternoon, and someone has called, and there was a numerologist, and he was trying to tell that what is your name? Then he said something like Yashwant. So then he said that, okay, your name has Tha in it. So Naga Chaitanya, Samantha, you will have diverse problems. Okay. And then the other person called. I was sadistically enjoying that. Then Paisachika Aradnam antaru. Right? And there was one more person who has called and he said, okay, what is your date of birth? 1. Oh, your date of birth ends with 0. So sometimes you will be rich, sometimes you will be poor. గుండ్రంగా తిరుగుతూ ఉంటారు సున్నాలాగా. ఆయన బాగుంది అని ఒక్కడి పేరు చెప్పలా. ఓకే, రైట్? సో నిజంగా నాకు అన్ని శక్తులు ఉంటే నేను అలాంటి పనులు చేసుకున్నాను, గొడవ లేని పని అది. యా, రైట్? సో you will not be able to learn programming just by listening to my classes. Trying what I've basically asked you to do can help you go there. ఓకే, వింటే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ వస్తుంది అన్న భ్రమల్లో ఎవరిని ఉంటే అది కుదరదు. కావాలంటే ఆ న్యూమరాలజిస్ట్ నెంబర్ ఇస్తాను. ఓకే, ఆయన ఈ పరిసరాల్లోనే ఉంటారు. ఓకే, ఫీజు 10,000 అంట ఒకసారికి. మీరు 6 సార్లు వెళ్ళొస్తే మహర్దశ, శుక్ర మహర్దశ స్టార్ట్ అవుద్ది. రైట్? ఓకే, start it, sir. And I'm trying to tell, I am okay for you writing wrong instructions. Only when you write wrong, then only you'll be able to correct it. But not attempting is a crime. Okay, try it out. Okay, fine. Do you believe in numerology? No, sir, I believe in fun. And for me, that numerologist conversation was more fun than any movie. Right, sir? Okay, sir. So never ever start writing instructions without you figuring out how to solve this problem. Are you stuck? Yes. So this is for the people who have stuck. Okay. So then first, I always said break the problem into smaller problems. Let us assume that I have given 345. Okay. We know how to take 5 out, right? We know how to take 5 out and make it 34. All I have to do is divided by 10. Quotient becomes 34 and remainder becomes. So I have done that. So now I have 345 and then I have two numbers. One is 34, the other one is 5. And after this, for this 34, if I apply the same stuff, I'll get 3 separately and 4 separately. Now I have 5 and I have 4. So this should become what? 54. Yeah, right. So for taking the number out, okay, if you have divided by 10, for combining the numbers, can't we multiply it by 10? Okay, 345 లో 5 తీయడానికి 10 తో డివైడ్ చేసాం. సో 345 से 5 निकालने के लिए हमने डिवाइड किया. 5 और 4 को 54 बनाने के लिए 5 को 10 से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो हो जाएगा ना. Okay, the point which I'm trying to tell is, okay, let us try to go with notepad. So first initially I'll have 345. So we know that digit will become 5 and number will become 34. Okay, now when I take number again, so now the number will become 3. So I have 4 now. So I already in digit there is 5. So what I need to do is digit is equals to whatever is there in the digit into 10 plus whatever you have got as a remainder. If I do this, 5 into 10 plus 4, that becomes, do you agree with me on this, sir? Yeah. So now here, let me try to do this. Number is equals to 345. Let us assume this is the case. And then digit is equals to 5. So which is number percentage 10. And then we have number, and I try to write number divided by 10. Now number has become 34. Now I'll try to tell result or reverse, whatever you call it. Okay, reverse is equals to already what is there in reverse into 10 plus digit. Initially I'll start with reverse is equals to 0. So when I execute this first time, 345, reverse is equals to 0 and digit will get 5. Number will become 34. Already what is there in reverse? 0. 0 into 10 is 0. Plus digit becomes plus 5. So right now in reverse I have 5. Then I'll try to go with this again. Now 34 divided by 10. So in the digit I'll have 4. Number will become 3. So in the reverse already we had 5. 5 into 4 will become 50. 50 plus 4 will become 54. Right? So finally our program will end with number is equals to 0. Yes or no? అవునా? ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎక్కడ ఎండ్ అవుద్ది? నంబర్ 0 దగ్గర ఎండ్ అవుద్ది. కానీ నంబర్ 0 అవుతే అది రివర్సే కదా, ఎలా చెక్ చేద్దాం? సో దట్స్ ద రీజన్ ఐ ట్రై టు టెల్ దట్ original value is equals to number. In original I'll have 345 still like that. And then finally I'll try to check if reverse is equals to number, say calendar. This is the rough logic of how I have come across. Okay, don't write program, sir. I want conversation with Flora. Yeah, right. So first let us get started. Hello, Flora. Second, remember 353 as number. Okay. And then remember 0 as reverse. Because number is going to become 0, I'm placing number in some value. So I'll try to tell that original is equals to number. Okay. Now let me go to line number 5. So I'll try to tell that digit or reminder, whatever you call it. Okay. Digit is equals to number percentage 10. And then number is equals to number divided by 10. And then reverse of a number is equals to whatever is there in the reverse right now into 10. Antena? Plus digit. Okay. Right. If number is greater than 0, then go to line number 5. Okay. 9. Okay. So it will calculate the reverse. If number is equals to reverse 9.1, say palindrome. 10. If number is not equals to reverse 10.1, say not a palindrome. Antena? Yes or no? Right. But this is not enough until unless we substitute the values. So let us try to do substitution. So let me try to check. Okay, I'll start executing this program. Take it to Notepad and let us try to solve for 353 itself. Okay. So what are the values which are in memory? In memory, I have, when I execute line number 2, I'll have number where I'll have 353. After I execute line number 3, so then I'll get reverse, and reverse will have 0. Then I execute line number 4, then I'll have original, and original will have 353. So then I'll come to line number 5. Line number 5 is getting executed. Now in the digit, I'll have 353 divided reminded with 10. And then after that, number is equals to number by 10. So 353 has become 35. Okay. And then at the line number 7, reverse is equals to reverse. Already in reverse, what is the value which we have? 0. 0 into 10 is 0. Plus what is there in the digit? Digit has 3. So this becomes 3. Right now, is the number greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. Then what did we say? Go to line number 5. Now digit is equals to number percentage 10. 35 percentage 10 will give me 5 here. After that, what is in the line number 6? Number is equals to number by 10. So number by 10 makes it 3. Reverse is equals to reverse into 10. So already in reverse we have 3. So this becomes 30. And then after that we have said that add digit. So the digit which we have is 5. So this becomes 35. So right now, is the number greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. So now then digit is equals to number percentage 10. 3 when divided by 10 will give me 3 back. Number is equals to number by 10. So my number has become 0. And then reverse is equals to reverse into 10. So 350 into 10 will becomes 350. Plus digit. What is there in the digit? 3. So 353. Then is number greater than 0? No, number is 0. So it will come here. Is number is equal to reverse? Yeah. Here there is something wrong. It should not be number. It should be original. Yeah, you do mistakes. That is quite often. So here, let me change the program now. So if original is equals to reverse, yeah, original is equals to reverse. So that is the where it is 353. So shall we try one more substitution? Yes. So let me try to do 356. So let first time when I'm executing, no memory required here. Hello Flora. Then remember 356 as a number. So in the number I'll have 356. Remember 0 as a reverse. Original is equals to number, so original we will have 356. Now digit is equals to number percentage 10. 356 percentage 10 will give me 6. Number is equals to number by 10. So that becomes 35. Reverse is equals to reverse. In reverse we have 0 already. 0 and 10 is 0 plus digit. So the reverse becomes 6. Then it goes, is number greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. So it will go to line number 5. So digit is equals to number percentage 10. So digit becomes 5. Now I execute this line. Number is equals to number by 10. So number becomes 3. So if number becomes 3, then reverse is equals to reverse is equal into 10. So 60. 60 plus 5 will give me 65. Then is number greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. So it will go to fifth statement. 3 percentage 10. Digit will become 3. Number is equals to number divided by 10, it becomes 0. Reverse is equals to reverse into 10, that is 650 plus digit, that becomes 3. Now it will come over here. Is number greater than 0? No, it is not greater than 0. It is equal to 0. So it will come here. Now is original equal to reverse? No, original is not equal to reverse. Is original not equals to reverse? Yes, it is not equals to reverse. So then it says not a valid. Do you agree with me on this? That this comes only by practice, sir. Okay. వన్ ఫైన్ డే న్యూటన్కి యాపిల్ దొరికినట్టు బుద్ధుడికి ఒకేసారి జ్ఞానం దొరికినట్టు మనకి ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ దొరకదు. వీ హ్యావ్ టు ట్రై దీస్ థింగ్స్, వీ మేక్ మిస్టేక్స్, వీ కరెక్ట్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ అండ్ దెన్ ఓన్లీ విల్ బి ఏబుల్ టు మేక్ ఇట్ అవుట్. సో షాల్ ఐ కన్వర్ట్ దిస్ ఇంటూ ప్రోగ్రామ్ నౌ just for your understanding? Okay, I am not expecting you to write these codes unless you know programming already. So again ఏం చేద్దాం అంటే ప్రస్తుతానికి this ఇది వద్దులేండి, this statements Visual Studio Code I'll try to speak today. You don't need Visual Studio Code because you're just writing instructions. So let me go over here and let me try to write instructions.md. Okay, fine. Let me go to main.py. I have instructions over here on the left hand side, and based on that I'm trying to write. So number is equals to 353. Okay, reverse is equals to 0, and then I'll try to tell that original is equals to whatever value is present in the number. Now if you try to see, I'm continuing trying to do this activity, all of this repeatedly. Okay, so what is my condition? A number is greater than 0. So I'll try to write something like while number is greater than 0, and then I'll try to tell that digit is equals to number percentage 10. Okay, number is equals to number. In the world of Python, you have to use double slashes for integer division. That's the reason I've done that. Okay, and now reverse is equals to reverse into 10 plus digit. Okay, that's it, done. So this will continue, and finally after it is done, if original is equivalent to reverse, print. Okay, original is palindrome, else print not a palindrome is. Do you agree with me on this, sir? Yeah, పెద్ద తేడా ఉందా? So I'm just converting that into this was Flora's conversation, this is Python's conversation. Yeah, now let me go over here, Python main dot py. 353 is a palindrome. Now let me change this value 356. We know that 356 is not a palindrome, right? Okay, now shall I do the same thing in Java? Yeah, ఏమి మారుతుంది సార్ కథ ఇదే. Okay, so Java and C, C++, these are statically typed languages, so you need to give some type of type. So I am giving int number is equals to 353 and int reverse is equals to 0, int original is equals to number. So while number is greater than 0, okay, so int digit is equals to number percentage 10, number is equals to number divided by 10. Okay, right. సో ఇక్కడ సింగిల్ స్లాష్ ఎక్కడ ఎందుకు ఉంది, అక్కడ పైథాన్ లో డబుల్ స్లాష్ ఎందుకు ఉందంటే అది ఆ లాంగ్వేజ్ స్పెసిఫిక్. దట్ ఈస్ దట్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఇస్ అండర్స్టాండ్. ఓకే, రైట్. సో డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ ద లాంగ్వేజ్ హియర్. ఇట్స్ అబౌట్ కన్వర్టింగ్ దిస్ ఇంటూ సమ్ లాంగ్వేజ్, ఎనీ లాంగ్వేజ్. I can convert this into JavaScript, Python, Ruby, Bash. You tell me the language, you can convert it. Okay, right. And then reverse is equals to reverse into 10 plus digit. Done? Okay, fine. Ante kada? Yeah. If original is equivalent to not number, it is reverse. System dot out dot println. Okay, so let me try to write palindrome. Else system dot out dot println not a palindrome. Okay, so Java C hello dot Java ఎక్కడ ఉంది తప్పు, ఓ Java C కాదు, Java C hello dot Java and వచ్చిందా palindrome. Now let me try to change it to 356. Okay, first is not a palindrome, and whatever you have done in substitution, right? So that activity is something which we basically call as debugging. Okay, I'll try to show you, we'll try to learn debugging, but just try to have a look at it. So మనం చేసిన ప్రాసెస్ substitution, whatever we are calling as substitution. So right now the code is executed over here. Let me execute this line. Sorry, saying in the memory we have number is equals to 356. Yeah, reverse is equals to 0, original is equals to 356. Right now I am checking this condition, number is number greater than 0. Yeah, true, so it will get into line number 5. So now digit, what is the value of it? 6. Okay, so now number is equals to number by 10, 35. Reverse is equals to reverse into 10 plus digit. Sorry, saying reverse we got 6. Now since number is not equal to 10, it will try to do this. Digit becomes 5, number becomes 3, so reverse becomes 65. Antena? Idega మనం ఇందాక manual substitution చేసింది, right? So I execute this program. Now number becomes 0. It will tell the original is equals to reverse. Then it will try to. Now let me go to the Java. and let me put a breakpoint over here, and then let me try to click on debug. Okay, right. So let us try to look into it. Number is equals to 356. Reverse is equals to 0. Original is equals to this. Are you seeing it is substituting the values over here? Yeah. మన కాగితం మీద రాసుకున్న దానికన్నా సుఖంగా లేదా ఇది? Right. So now if number is greater than or equal to 0, so we got digit has 6. Number by 10, so number became 35. Reverse becomes 6, and then it goes over here, digit becomes 5, and then number becomes 3. So 6 into 10 plus 5, so which becomes 65. Now digit is 3, number became 0, and then the reverse is this. Now it is checking is original is equal to reverse. No, it is not. So it will come over here, and then it will print not a palindrome and convert in the kanda. This process is something which we call as debugging. I have seen full stack Java developers in the same room where you are sitting. Okay, code ఎవడో రాసిచ్చినట్టున్నాడు, ఇలా పెన్ అట్టుకుని చూస్తున్నారు, ఇలా లైన్ బై లైన్. అలా ఎలా అర్థమవుతుందో నాకు తెలియదు. నాకు తెలిసి 16 ఏళ్ళగా కోడ్ చేస్తున్నా. ఓకే, without debugging you cannot become a programmer. Okay, are you seeing this is comfortable, right? When we make mistakes also, if you try to execute the code line by line, you will understand how your code is basically behaving. This is one of the key skill. కర్మ ఏంటంటే ఫుల్ స్టాక్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో జాయిన్ అయిన వాళ్ళు కూడా ఇది నేర్చుకోవట్లేదు. కోడ్ ఎందుకు పనిచేస్తారంటే ఏదో మన టైం బాగాలేదండి. ఓకే, రైట్. సో లెట్ మీ టెల్ యూ వన్ థింగ్ స్ట్రైట్. Many people ask me saying that, okay sir, I'm finding it difficult basically doing these activities. Let me tell you one thing. When the program fails, it is giving you a way to try to show you why it has gone wrong. Yes or no? So for example, if I try to forget to write this line, enduko ee karmagali line marchipoyanu. Okay, so when I try to run this program will never end. Okay, so then we will try to debug this program. ఎందుకు మన తప్పే ఏం చేసాం అన్నది debug చేసి కనుక్కోవచ్చు. Okay, so for example, if I try to do the same thing, and now if I try to debug, let us try to see what happens. Number is 356, reverse is 0, original is this. What is our condition? Number, as long as number is greater than 0, it will continue here. So what is digit? 356, 6 వచ్చింది. రివర్స్ ఏమైంది? ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూస్తే ఇది ఎలాగే తిరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, ఎప్పటికీ బయటికి రాదు. It will never come out of this. Why it is not coming out of it? Because your number is consistently at 356. So after first time after solving 356, the number should become 35. Yeah, so there is a way to figure out where your code has gone wrong, and when systems fail, they will try to tell you the reason why it has failed. మనం ఇవి మానేసి, ఓకే, మనుషులతో కాంప్లికేటెడ్ రిలేషన్ మాకు సుఖంగా ఉంటాయి. నువ్వు ఎందుకు అలిగావంటే నువ్వు అలా ఎందుకు అన్నావు, నిన్న ఏమన్నాను నాకు గుర్తుండదు. యా, ఇది అనుకోండి అన్ని బంగారంలాగా ఉన్నాయి, డీబగ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. తప్పు చేసి మెషిన్లతో చాలా సుఖంగా ఉంటుంది, రైట్? ఇది మానేసి, యా, the point which I'm trying to tell is machines are quite straightforward, sir. They will try to tell you the reason why they fail. They will give you an option to correct, because you can try to traverse all of this path. ఈ వదిలేసి మనమేమో ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు ఎవరు పెళ్ళైన వాళ్ళకి నా బాధ ఎలాగో అర్థమై ఉంటుంది. పెళ్లి కాబోయే వాళ్ళకి ఏదో అద్భుతం ఉందని పెళ్లి గురించి ట్రై చేస్తుంటారు, ఏముండదు దానికని చాలా సుఖం. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ ఈజ్ మచ్ ఈజియర్ దాన్ ఎనీ కాంప్లెక్స్ రిలేషన్ విచ్ యు ఆర్ ఆల్రెడీ ఫేసింగ్. ఓకే, so right, which interface are you using for Python? I use Visual Studio Code for everything, because this is an open source editor which Microsoft has basically given, which is free for usage, and there are a lot of tools. Even while developing anything in DevOps, you'll be using Visual Studio Code. Okay, so are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Okay, so now do you understand that substitution is important? Yeah, this is one of the major habit, because developer's job is approximately 70% debugging and 30% only writing new code. So no company will try to tell that, okay, కొత్తగా చేయనాడు కొత్త అప్లికేషన్ రాద్దామని ఎవడు అనుకోడు. So you might be asked to fix the defects. So for fixing the defects, you need to understand what the code flow is. So this substitution is a very important activity. Are we clear on this, sir? Yes. Did we learn something today? Yes. Okay, good. Fine. Substitution as all right, sir. So tomorrow we'll try to solve some other problems and we'll try to do the system setup tomorrow. Tomorrow we will try to system setup at the end. We will be installing Visual Studio Code, nothing more than that. In my system, Visual Studio Code is already installed. So I'll try to take one a fresh operating system and then I'll try to show you how to install the necessary softwares. You and me will be dealing Python. So we'll be installing whatever tools are that are necessary to make this work out. Clear? Yeah. Okay. Right. Done, sir. Notes is uploaded. Okay. Yeah. Today is 24th August. And the notes is already available over here. Yeah. Try to relook and try to solve some problems. Okay. So tomorrow I'll be trying to introduce to you to some of the things which you need to get into. One is Project Euler. So here, if you try to look into this in Project Euler, you will have simple problems which you can understand, but you cannot solve it with the hand. Let us try to look into what it is. So what is that he's trying to tell? If you try to look at 10, under 10, all the numbers that are divisible by 3 or 5 are 3, 5, 6, and 9. And if you calculate the sum of it, it will become 23. But he wants the sum of all the multiples of 3 or 5 below 1000. ఇది మనం చేయలేమా పెన్తో ఖచ్చితంగా చేయొచ్చు తెల్లారొద్దు కాబట్టి, right? So for these kind of things, programs are absolutely wonderful. So let me try to show you some other problem. So yeah, he is trying to tell what is the largest prime factor of this. Okay. So what are factors of 100? Any number which is divisible by 100 is a factor of it. So 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, right? 25, 50. Okay. So in this, he's trying to learn for this number, try to find out all the factors and tell me what is the largest factor which is a prime number. Okay. So logic wise, we know how to do it, but yeah. But for these kind of things, programs are extremely wonderful. So the reason why we are trying to solve this problem is to get into this thinking. So what is the problem and how do I convert the instructions? This is one thing which we'll be doing. And the other thing which I expect is, okay, tomorrow I'll try to show you. Okay. So we will try to open Hacker Rank, and in Hacker Rank, we'll try to solve some Python problems. Okay. Right. So మన కంపెనీకి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మన ప్రైమ్ నెంబర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎవడన్నా రాయమంటాడంటే ఎవడో రాయమంటాం. We are not learning programs to solve mathematical problems, but mathematical problems help us in building the logic. So this Hacker Rank, and then there is one more thing which is called as lead code. Okay. So we'll open some of them, try to look at some of the Python problems, and then we'll try to write code for that. And I want you to continue solving at least 30 to 40 problems in each platform, especially freshers. Okay. Because this could be one of your written tests. This could be one of your written tests. Okay. Right. Where you click to debug the program, I will try to show you the debugging setup once we start Python. Don't worry about it. So right now, don't get into language. Don't get into programming language. Speak with Flora. That is enough. And do the substitution. Okay, sir? Yeah. Right then. So that is what I had for the day, sir. We will meet again tomorrow, same time. to solve and learn a little bit more. Yeah, okay, thank you. Any laptop configuration for this? Okay, let me this is an interesting question, sir. For example, if you want to buy a new mobile, what is the configuration which you are expecting? ఒక కొత్త ర్యామ్ మీరు ఫోన్ కొనాలంటే మీకు ఏ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ కావాలి? I'm just telling this in a sarcastic way, but this is true. So what is the phone you think is good for working? ఎంత ర్యామ్ ఉండాలంటారు సుమారుగా? 8 GB ర్యామ్. యా, రైట్. సో ల్యాప్టాప్ ఎంత ఉందంటే 3 GB ఉంది సార్. ఫోన్కి ఏమో 8, ల్యాప్టాప్కి ఏమో 3. No, the basic configuration which I expect is at least have 8 gigs of RAM and any i3, i5 or i7 unte adbhutam, right? i3 or i5 processors, that's it. But if you have anything greater than 8, okay, it would be good. Okay, but 8 is bare minimum required for us to work. If you are using Mac, it's okay, right? As I said, for the people who are Mac users, you need Windows system only for watching recorded videos. Rest of all of the stuff what we do in the classroom, we don't have any operating system dependency. Visual Studio Code can be installed on any platform. Terminals are present in any operating systems. So only for watching recordings we have Windows dependencies, and for that some of the students have yesterday recommended that VMware Fusion, yeah, is free software for personal usage. Try it out if you have a Mac. If you have Windows, nothing to worry about. For the people who are having Windows, ensure that you are at least having Windows 10. 7 lo 8 link koddu. Ayipindad. Okay. Let us go with Windows 10 at least at a bare minimum stuff. Yeah. Okay. Right, sir. Yeah. So yeah, if you are having 8, it's a decent configuration, sir. Even with 4 and 6, you can manage. But the things which others are doing with a little bit pace, you might be taking it a little bit of slow time. That's it. Yeah. If it is possible, make it 8. Right, Nikhil? Yeah. Okay, sir. So that's what I had for the day. Thank you all.